Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to announce the arrival of the representative of the Honorable Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, His Excellency Abubakar Atiku Bagodo, represented by Dr. Emeka Vitalis, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, Your Excellency, to this lunch. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, can we please all stand for the national anthem so we can commence officially. After the count of 1, 2, the national anthem, please. Thank you very much, Your Excellencies. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly take your seat. My name is Peter, Chairman Koti. I'm going to be the compere of this lunch. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, we are going straight into the event, and we apologize for starting behind schedule. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be calling on the representative of the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, Dr. Emeka Vitalis, who is ably represented by Dr. Samson Ibimaru, the Director, International Corporation of the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, for the welcome address. A round of applause for Dr. Samson, please. Thank you.
His Excellency, the Honorable Minister, Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagodo, CON, ably represented by the Permanent Secretary of the same ministry, Dr. Emeka Vitalis, OB, MNI, the EU Ambassador to Nigeria, His Excellency Guter Migot, the French Ambassador, His Excellency Marc Van Bastier, the Lake Chad Basin Commission Executive Director, Ambassador Noho. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the press, let me, on behalf of the Honorable Minister welcome you to this very important occasion. I, again, like to say that it's our pleasure and honor that I welcome you to the official launch of the Lake Chad Inclusive Economic and Social Recovery RESILAC-2 project. The Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning in 2028 to 2022 collaborated with Action Against Hunger and implemented RESILAC-1, the first phase of the project. As you are aware, the Lake Chad Basin has been facing numerous security challenges and recurring climate shocks. With the visible results achieved in the implementation of RESILAC-1, this therefore necessitated the need to build on the lessons learned to commence the new phase of RESILAC-2. The ministry is very much aware of the conscious efforts being made by the Borno State government in tracking the security situation to ensure its citizens are safe and return back to its livelihood. I wish to commend the efforts of Action Against Hunger in collaboration with other partners in Borno State through its multi-sectorial humanitarian responses in addressing the problems of food insecurity to improve the nutrition status of conflict-affected population through uptake of critical household health and hygiene behaviors, and in supporting government to provide primary health care, water, sanitation, hygiene services, safety nets, and livelihood sources. This is in addition to the government efforts aimed at addressing the underlying and immediate causes of malnutrition and food insecurity in Borno State. The nutrition indices in Borno State, according to the just released 2023 National Demographic and Health Survey, show that stunting and underweight in children under 5 are 40.9 and 28.1% respectively, as against 48.1% and 31.9% in 2018. This calls for more action by all stakeholders. This is a great pointer and very disturbing trend, because one would have seen some improvement with all the ongoing humanitarian efforts happening in Borno State. This calls for more collective action for partners to work together to ensure improvement in the state. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our hope that the RESILAC-2 project will contribute to economic recovery, strengthen resilient and social cohesion in Borno State and the Lake Chad Basin mostly. Distinguished participants, I wish to reiterate our commitment that the ministry, in line with its mandate on coordination of food and nutrition related activities in the country, will continue to provide effective leadership in addressing the problem of malnutrition and household. That will also include the effort to ensure continuous advocacy to policy makers for increased commitment to nutrition at all levels of government. Finally, I wish to extend my deep appreciation to Action Against Hunger and other consortium of partners for supporting RESILAC-2 in saving the lives of several Nigerian children. On this note, I welcome you and wish you a successful launch of the Lake Chad Inclusive Economic and Social recovery RESILAC-2 project being implemented in Borno State. Congratulations and thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir, Dr. Samson Ibimaru. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome on the Executive Director, French Development Agency, person of Mr. Xavier Moron for his welcome remark. Thank you. Please, let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first stand on all existing protocols, already established protocols, for the sake of time. Today's event marks the launch of the RESILAC Phase 2 program, and I remember having closed the first phase a couple of months ago, and I was mentioning this specific day that we should be very proud of the progress made and outcomes, and we should put more emphasis on it. This project was not about engaging or disbursing millions of euros and dollars. It was about dealing with communities and people living in dire situation in a very difficult terrain. This first phase has indeed demonstrated that with solidarity, cooperation, and commitment of all, it was possible to generate significant impact on vulnerable communities. We were able to target at least 140,000 direct beneficiaries and many more when it comes to indirect people touched, including 50% women and 75 youth. We benefited from health and psychological support, training to improve their livelihoods, and access job opportunities, and many more. This first phase was also the engine for social cohesion activities, where media via local radios were key to spread positive messages around hope and peace, as well as reinforcing local capacities on conflict resolution management. By the day we were closing phase 1, we also made a promise that we will find additional financing together with the EU to make sure that we build on those results, efforts, and the existing structure of the project, to be able to come with a follow-up activity, a project, for the benefits of many more people. And we made it. Despite scarcity of resources and other challenges, we stand before you today, re-energized and ready to help you implement this phase 2. You can count on our support, and I wish to all our partners a fruitful discussion during the steering committees that are planned right after this launch event, and a successful implementation for the 4 years to come. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Xavier, for that opening remark. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Country Director of Action Against Hunger, represented by Andualam Fekadu, for his welcome remark as well. A round of applause, please.
Honorable Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, Permanent Secretariat President, Ambassador of the European Union, Ambassador of France, Director of AFD, the Executive Secretary of the Lake Chad Basin Commission, distinguished guests and esteemed representatives of the Nigerian government, colleagues, international and national organizations and agencies present. Please allow me to stand all protocols. I am Andualam Fekadu, Deputy Country Director for Program for Action Against Hunger, and I'm standing here to deliver these keynotes on behalf of our country director, Cherno Samba Diallo, who couldn't be here today for a very involuntary reasons, but sending all his gratitude and warmest welcome to you all. It's a distinct honor to address you today on the occasion of the regional launch of the RESILAC-2 program, a moment that underscores the spirit of partnership and shared responsibility in addressing one of the most complex crises facing communities in the Lake Chad Basin. RESILAC represents a comprehensive and collaborative response to the multidimensional challenge affecting communities in the region. The first phase of the program, implemented from 2018 to 2022, achieved commendable progress in restoring livelihoods, fostering social cohesion, and strengthening local governance structure. Yet, despite these gains, the reality of the ground continues to evolve, necessitating a renewed, adaptive, and innovative response to the long-term, for a long-term and durable solutions. The second phase we are launching today is a direct continuation of its predecessors, RESILAC-1. Not only builds upon what we have achieved under RESILAC-1, but introduces strategic innovations to enhance its relevance, impact, and sustainability. It will consolidate lesson learned and scale up intervention across priority territories. Moreover, it retains territorial approach enriched to promote greater sub-regional integration, inclusivity, and locally driven development. Led by a strong consortium comprising of Action Against Hunger, CARE, Group URD, and the RESILAC program in Nigeria is implemented in close collaboration with key stakeholders, including Borno State Line Ministries, especially the Ministry of Reconstruction, Rehabilitation, and Resettlement, and Borno State Agency for Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, as well as the national partners such as NIM Foundation, RABI, and Novel Alliance for Development, NADA. This initiative has been made possible thanks to the generous support of the European Union and the AFD. With a total funding envelope of 40 million, RESILAC-2 is bold and transformative initiative aimed at strengthening resilience and fostering long-term stability in the Lake Chad Basin. The RESILAC-2 project built upon three powerful and interconnected pillars. The first one is enhancing access to basic social service and promoting social inclusion, whereas the second one is supporting participatory governance and sustainable management of local territories, and the third one is revitalizing local economies and strengthening cross-border trade. The target communities include IDPs, vulnerable households, host communities, women, local institutions, and community associations, uprooting from poverty and building resilience and self-reliance to over 500,000 people in the region. These actors are the driving forces behind sustainable recovery and resilience in the targeted territories. Regionally, the program fully aligns with the Lake Chad Basin Regional Strategy for the stabilization, recovery, and resilience, and more specifically, aligns with the specific countries and state-level development plans. We thank Ambassador Nuhu and his team for all the great collaboration at the LCB Commission at all levels. In Nigeria, the design of the RESILAC-2 aligns with not only with the federal government long-term development strategy for the country, but also and more particularly in Borno State, the program aligns and directly contributes to 4 pillars out of 9 of the 25 years Borno State Development Plan, including human capital development, leadership in agriculture, sustainable environment, and regional trade hub. The particularity of this program is that the Borno State government is leading its implementation, and the federal government chairing the steering committee under the leadership of Ministry of Budget and Economic Plan. Thank you again, Honorable Minister, for all the partnership and support. I would like to take this opportunity to extend our deepest gratitude to our donors, consortium partners, the federal and state government authorities, as well as non-governmental institutions alike, and many other stakeholders whose collaboration has made this initiative possible. Your dedication to resilience building and social equity continues to inspire our collective effort. Action Against Hunger has a long-standing presence here in Nigeria, working hand in hand with the federal and state government and institutions to combat hunger and strengthening public system and drive sustainable recovery. I wish to particularly acknowledge the collaborative effort to the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, Finance, Humanitarian Affairs, as well as Water Resources and Social Welfare. Our areas of focus have been the sector of food security and livelihood, health, nutrition, water, sanitation and hygiene, and social protection, working in tandem with government and state across the country. Your continued support remains instrumental in shaping a resilient and inclusive future for Nigeria. Today, as we officially commence the implementation of RESILAC-2, we are reminded of the transformative power of partnership. This program is not only a vehicle for immediate humanitarian response, but also a long-term investment in peace, prosperity, and dignity for the people of the Lake Chad Basin. Moving forward, we reaffirm our commitment to the highest standard of transparency, accountability, and collaboration to reduce human suffering and achieve zero hunger for everyone. Action Against Hunger places this principle at the center of our operation, ensuring that resources are effectively managed and that communities we serve are actively engaged throughout the project implementation, taking entire ownership of their own development. As I come to close my remark, I would like to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude, first to our esteemed donors. Once again, thank you for your invaluable support to the people of the Lake Chad Basin. I would like also to extend our sincere appreciation to the federal and state authorities, especially our line Ministry of Budget and Economic Plan, as well as key commission and agencies in Borno State. Your seamless partnership and steadfast collaboration have been critical, ensuring that no one among our people goes to bed hungry. Finally, to the Lake Chad Basin Commission, our fellow international and national organizations and agencies, and our distinguished guests here today, thank you, and every one of you without exception, for your ongoing support and collaboration. Together, we can turn today's challenge into tomorrow's opportunity and ensure that no one is left behind. Thank you for your attention. I thank you.
Representative of the Country Director, Action Against Hunger, ACF, Tieno Samba Diallo, represented by Andualam Fekado. Thank you very much, sir, for that. We are also joined in this meeting by the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Livestock, Dr. Chinyere Ijoma Okujobi, You're welcome, ma'am. Also, we have Honorable Ali Kotoko, Member, House of Assembly, Borno State, MMC. You're welcome, sir. Okay, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies, permit me to welcome the EU Ambassador in Nigeria and ECOWAS, Ambassador Kotia Mignot, for his remark. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. In view of the time, allow me to send on existing protocols expressing deep appreciation for your presence to all. I'm very pleased here to be present for this launch of RESILAC-2. RESILAC-2 lies between continuity and innovation, consolidating lessons learned and best practices of phase one, but scaling up actions undertaken, adjusting the project approach to make it more holistic, sub-regional, partner-centered, with new target groups and new thematic areas, also consolidating the nexus between humanitarian action and development cooperation. And RESILAC is a multiplier project. First, because it's multi-annual, again for 5 years. It's multi-country, 4 countries around the Lake Chad Basin with a regional approach. 3 in which RESILAC-2 will be actually implemented. Nigeria, with 3 LGAs in Borno State, Jere, Konduga, and Maiduguri Metropolitan Council. Cameroon with the extreme north region, Chad with the Lake Province, and hopefully Niger when political conditions will be met in the Difa region. It's a multi-level community, communal, regional, national, and sub-regional project. It's also a multi-sector project with 3 main interconnected and complementary areas of actions. And it's a multi-donor project with the European Union and the Agence Française de Développement and the French Republic joining forces with a total budget of 40 million euros, illustrating a very strong Team Europe approach that we are developing now in the framework of a global gateway strategy. And finally, it is a multi-partner project with more than 20 implementing partners, a strong batch of implementing partners with action against hunger in the lead. But also 13 local civil society organizations in the 3 countries, and notably in Nigeria, NIM Foundation, REBI, and NADA. And of course, we are partnering also with the local governments, the Borno State local government, in particular in Nigeria, and we are partnering with the Lake Chad Basin Commission, which is one of the key regional partners of RESILAC. An enhanced cooperation strategic axis is set up for this new phase based on lessons learned from phase 1 for better integration of regional component and increased synergies at all levels. And we have a protocol of cooperation which has been developed to provide a framework for this cooperation, and key partnership areas are identified in terms of synergy of our actions, exchange of experience and expertise, and capacity building. So the general objective of RESILAC is to strengthen people's resilience. But it's important to explain what lies behind this concept, this word, which has become a very common concept in development cooperation. And basically, it's about strengthening access to basic services, livelihoods, and social inclusion opportunities. It's about supporting economic recovery and promoting cross-border trade through access to employment and to diversified productive activities, fisheries in the agro-silvo-pastoral sector adapted to climate change. And it's also about improving the capacities of authorities, community organizations, and civil society organizations. So in total, we are targeting 118,000 beneficiaries, direct beneficiaries, with a majority of women. And in Nigeria, specifically, some 36,000 direct beneficiaries across the 3 LGAs I mentioned, covering 7 wards and 15 villages and communities, with as target groups the active forces, especially youth and women, the most vulnerable population. This is a new feature of RESILAC-2, IDPs, refugees, and host communities, targeting also local entities and actors who bring life to the territories, and local associations as drivers of positive change. And this project will involve all stakeholders in the territories at various levels in order to create a collective and participatory dynamic approach to improve the living conditions of households, particularly, as I mentioned, the most vulnerable. And finally, I want to stress that this RESILAC project, this new phase, is part of a global package of projects in the northeast and the northwest of Nigeria, which Team Europe is launching this year, a package worth around 300 million euros with regional projects like this one, or national project, bilateral with Nigeria, on sectors like education, health, DDR, water transboundary management around the Lake Chad, as a concrete illustration of our commitment with these regions of Nigeria which are facing specific and difficult challenges in terms of security and socio-economic development. So it's a clear illustration of the fact that Team Europe stays very much on its course and commitment with Nigeria. We are not withdrawing, we are not decreasing. On the contrary, we are accelerating. Thank you very much for your commitment.
Thank you, Your Excellency. To further demonstrate the buy-in of the immediate community, talking about the 3 LGAs in Borno State, we have the presence of the 3 LGA chairmen with us. You may want to really see these 3 LGAs that RESILAC-2 will be impacting in this second phase. We have Honorable Tijani Umar Ali, who is the MMC LGA chair. He's here with us. And also, we have Honorable Enna Galadima from Jire local government area in Borno State. You're welcome. And also, we have Honorable Abba Abari of Konduga local government area. You're welcome, sir. And so, to cap it all, we have the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Reconstruction, Resettlement of Borno State. He just joined us, Architect Isa Garba Halidu. You're welcome. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to call on the Lake Chad Basin Commission Executive Secretary, Ambassador Mama Nuhu, for his speech. Thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, ably represented by the Permanent Secretary. The Permanent Secretary is here present, Ambassador of the European Union, the Ambassador of France, UN Resident Coordinator, Director of the French Development Agency, representatives of international organizations, representatives of implementing partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Permit me also to still stand on the well-established protocol. It is with great pleasure that I make these few remarks at the official regional launch of RESILAC-2, the second phase of the Lake Chad Inclusive Economic and Social Recovery Project, which marks a significant milestone in our collective journey. We gather here not only to launch this project, but also to reaffirm a shared ambition, that of building long-term peace, resilience, and sustainable livelihoods for the communities of the Lake Chad Basin. I would like to, first of all, extend my sincere gratitude to the RESILAC Regional Office and its financial partners, the European Union and the French Development Agency, as well as its host institution, the Action contre la Faim, for inviting me to this event and for giving me the opportunity to make these few remarks. As you are aware, today, the Lake Chad Basin stands at a historic crossroads. For decades, this region has been marked by environmental degradation, insecurity, and social dislocation. The lake itself, once the heartbeat of transboundary cooperation and subsistence, did shrink in the past to an alarming level due to the combined effects of climate change and unsustainable resource use. But this context is not entirely one of crisis. It is also one of adaptation, learning, and collective response. Since its establishment in 1964, the Lake Chad Basin Commission has remained committed to its core mandate, that of managing the waters of the lake and other transboundary water resources in the basin in a sustainable and equitable way, that of conserving the ecosystem of the conventional basin, and promoting regional integration and safeguarding peace and security in the conventional basin. Today, more than ever, the role of coordinated regional action is indispensable. Accordingly, the regional strategy for stabilization, recovery, and resilience of the areas of the Lake Chad Basin affected by Boko Haram crisis serves as our main platform for coordinated regional action. Produced by the Lake Chad Basin Commission and adopted by the African Union Peace and Security Council, the strategy offers a roadmap to address the root causes of instability in the area while laying the foundation for inclusive and durable recovery. The adjusted version of the strategy, which covers the period 2025 to 2030, was recently adopted by the Lake Chad Basin Council of Ministers, which met in Niamey. It emphasizes a simplified, more inclusive, and holistic framework focused on 4 strategic areas: sustainable peace and security, durable solutions and protection, sustainable resource management and community livelihoods enhancement, and regional governance and cooperation. I am glad to note that these priorities are in line with those of RESILAC-2, whose integrated bottom-up approach strengthens economic recovery, fosters social cohesion, supports local and regional governance, and enhances community capacities in the face of climate change.
To supporting
RESILAC is a multi-project. It's a multi-countries project. We cover support for player involved in social cohesion, resource management. And the third one is economic recovery. The project is around the cross-counting components. We have 3 cross-counting components. We have 3 cross-counting components. We need to implement the lesson learned from regional research and capitalization work, and resuming continuity with scaling up the training vocation.
We have more than 36,000 we have also a breakdown for each result. Out of this beneficiary, we are going to target greater than 50% of them women. So RESILAC is a gender transformative and sensitive project. When we see the governance structure, actually in our afternoon, but we do have national level and the state level governance structure. Actually, the picture is the state level members. I think sustainability is important for RESILAC. So how we are going to address sustainability?
Question, and then get the response as well.
I just want to... We don't have such a big concern. But in the future, we don't know what comes next. But we'll closely work with the local authority, with the community, then see how we are going to also approach.
To commend the consortium of partners of the work they are doing in the... I want to also commend the consortium of Action Against Hunger, CARE International, and Group URD, who are the implementing partners of the work. I want to say it is our pleasure.
Jerry
Our key participants in the front row, most of them have been met, and we thank you sincerely and look forward to the success. I said that I want to also thank the CARE International for the work you are doing, and that is very, very important for the work you are doing, and that is very, very important for you to work in partnership with others to ensure that we get success and we get value for money of what we are doing in Borno State. But one thing is also very important to say at this point is that we would not continue to rely on partners forever. We must start thinking about sustainability plan as we implement this. We don't know whether third phase is coming. So all things being equal, we want to be able to see that we have received support. How do we continue by ourselves? It's very, very important. So we need to put... So for numerous partners who are present here, I saw the Camilla Haggis, the country director for INGO Forum. She was here briefly. I don't know whether I stepped out. You know, we want to thank you so much for the work all of you are doing in Nigeria. All our partners seated around the tables. Our
Borno State operational committee members will be part of it. We'll be having Borno State Ministry of Reconstruction, Rehabilitation and Resettlement, and then donor and LCBC representative. That is the Lake Chad Basin Commission, the national focal point. Then we have the AFD, we have the EU representatives, RESILAC Implementing Agency representatives, RESILAC Regional Representative, RESILAC National Coordinator as the Secretary. Will be represented CARE, NIM, REBI, and NADA. So please, these ministries will reconvene after the launch. For the launch, the VIPs will be having it separate from us. So we're going to direct you. Please, you can sit. We're going to direct you shortly to where you have your lunch, the VIPs. And then for the rest of us, we'll be heading towards the swimming pool area, the Zamunda session. That's where we're going to be having our lunch. Thank you, and make sure you're enjoying the lunch. And thank you for coming. We are returning by... Let me confirm. Gade? Okay, this is 12:44. What time are we reconvening? After 1 hour. Okay, so 1:45. We are reconvening National Steering Committee. So please, we have 30 minutes for the lunch. The Ministry of Budget and National, 30 minutes for the launch. The Ministry of Budget and National Planning are saying we should use 30 minutes for the launch. And then 30 minutes for the launch. And then reconvene. So we crave for your understanding because they have other pressing issues to attend to, and they are chairing the National Steering Committee. So let's reconvene. 1:15. Thank you.
The handset you own. Me I no fi drag it shine. Oluwa na him be my kanji down. Me I no fi drag it shine. Oluwa na him be my kanji down. Me I no dey try reconnect the light. I just want Charlie boy day, make Charlie boy reconnect the light. I just want Charlie boy day, make Charlie boy day. Me not thank God, I got the lead. Say God no, got the lead. But I got the lead. Say God no, got the lead. Oluwa nine, comforting me. When these people they come body me, men not comforting me. When these people they come body me, men not thank God I got the lead. Say God no, got the lead. When these people they what it is, every day on cruise. Bad as I gone. Now I am bigger, but Ferragamo, yeah, we cruise. I gone. Now I am bigger, but Ferragamo, yeah, we cruise. Cause she am. Used to this lifestyle, every Wednesday, ladies' night. I need no lighter, better smother, I be the. I need no lighter, better smother, I be the fire. The fire. Every day me ganja, what does it kill me, make me. Every day me ganja, what does it kill me, make me stronger. Bella smother, fight boy, Bella me a fighter. Many people hurt me, off baga no green. Call me off baga no green. Call it diamond. Man I try and fight and I beat you a lot. Many people hurt me off baga no green. Call it diamond. Me chill, look at me reminiscing. Remember, mama used to want me. Me chill, look at me reminiscing. Remember, mama used to want me and never listen. Some guys died, some of them did for prison. Thank God for all the fasting and prayer she did. But do me go when I just start to a man. Daddy for sure, mommy cool, mama fair man. How could it be now? I was waiting for an answer. I'm fed up with the dog with stuff I thought said. Anywhere I go, they come up with me, my grandma. Anywhere I go, they come up with me, my grandma. Oh, they do like ball. If you want make a ginger, give me the cocoa. Beach your love, come make a show you my banana. No, they do like ball. Make a show you my banana. No, they do like ball. Make I tell you waiting up for a bullet. Body's big party inside by a bullet. I went there with my best friend Kule there with his girlfriend Shile. Ghetto girls them they like Takasufi. So many pretty girls they inside my mule. I just the one that said which can party everything yakba, everything there. Oh shit, I get many girls with them they come from away. Man, no, man, no. Ain't no fit to run away from God. Ain't no fit to run away from God. Well to Mokoko, Omo Soja. Well to Mokoko, Omo Soja. Otu Momoto, Amuka, Otu Momoto, Amukoko Datu Okoko. One life, give me one time, no lie. Yeah, Momo Koko, Momo Lokeko. I'm a tennis slow. Otu Mokoko, Omo Soja. Otu Momoto, Amukoko Datu Okoko.
Dash and for so I for you're gonna for. Dash and for so I for you're gonna for. Surely king la salamu. Oh, tipo to wala safu. So I wa ma shefu. So I wa ma shefu.
When I give my attack, oh, you defend. It's set to your defense, oh, get to them forget. Yeah, so you see fast when they go, celebo, you see I learn from the best to the best. David, sugar, if you don't mind, you got to mind, if you don't mind, you come to mind.
Leadership in agriculture, sustainable environment, and regional trade. The particularity of this program is that the Borno state government is leading its implementation, and the federal government chairing the steering committee under the leadership of Ministry of Budget and Economic Plan. Thank you again, Honorable Minister, for all the partnership and support. Deepest gratitude to our donors, consortium partners, the federal and state government authorities, as well as non-initiative possible. Your dedication to resilience building and social equity continues to inspire our collective leadership, and steadfast collaboration have been critical, ensuring that no one among our people goes to bed hungry. Finally, to the Lake Chad Basin Commission, our fellow international and national organizations and agencies, and our distinguished guests here today. Thank you, and every one of you without exception, for your ongoing support and collaboration. Together, we can turn today's challenge into tomorrow's
regional partner center with new target group, regional partner center with new target groups, illustrating a very strong Team Europe approach that we are developing now in the framework of a global gateway strategy. And finally, it is a multi-partner project with more than 20 implementing partners, a strong batch of implementing partners with action against hunger fisheries, with a majority of women. And in Nigeria, specifically, some 36,000 direct beneficiaries across the 3 LGAs I mentioned, covering 7 wards and 15 villages and communities, with as target groups the active forces, especially youth and women, the most vulnerable population, that is a new IDPs, refugees and host communities, targeting also communities, targeting also local entities and actors who bring
Ali, who is the MMC LGA chair. He's here with us. And also we have Honorable Enna Galadima from Jire local government area in Borno State. Enna Galadima from Jire local government area in Borno State. You're welcome. And also we have Honorable Abba Abari of Konduga local government area. You're welcome. We have the Honorable Konduga local government area. You're welcome. We have the Honorable Commissioner.
It is with great pleasure that I make these few remarks at the official regional launch of RESILAC-2, the second phase of the Lake Chad Inclusive Economic, which marks a significant milestone in our collective journey. We gather here not only to launch this project, that of conserving the ecosystem of the continent, the ecosystem of the conventional basin, and promoting regional integration and safeguarding peace and security in the conventional basin are in line with those of RESILAC-2, whose integrated bottom-up approach strengthens economic recovery, fosters social cohesion, supports local and regional governance, and enhances community capacities in the face of climate.
Even though they are still funding initiative PEPFAR. Having said that, I want us to be committed because
muted.
Okay. Where is speaker? Okay, thank you, because I am displayed there. Mm. The way to join us. We are also expecting Lechard Basin Commission focal point in Nigeria. Is there anyone here? In focal point in Nigeria. Is there anyone here? Okay. Okay. They are not here. We are expecting. They are not here. We are expecting RESILAC impending agency representative. That means from regional representative. That means from regional team. Mass coordinator. That's me. I'm already here. Coordinator. That's me. I'm already here. Action Against Hunger Country Director. Andu. Care Country Director. Jenny is here. NIM Foundation Executive Director, Tangar is there. Rabi, Executive Director. Okay. Plan of the project. This is the second suggested agenda item. Then these are the only two agenda items. Then after that, we will have maybe a recap, a vote of thanks, and concluding remarks. So we have two agenda items. Maybe I will back to the chair, just to endorse these agenda items, if we have any additional agenda item or to drop any, so we can give comments. So these are the suggestions. Maybe before we go to the presentation, we have to agree on the agenda items.
With you on the implementation of the RESILAC program, and that we shall continue to be, interfacing with you. From time to time, especially those of us, some of you that are in Maiduguri will be keeping in touch, and even the people here, we're working together. And to assure you of our absolute support, and to assure you that our executive governor is a very serious-minded governor, and is very interested in the resettlement program and the development of the resilience of our people in Borno State is to resettle almost all the refugees before the end of this year, and we are working towards it. And with this, your kind support through the RESILAC-2 program is going to enhance the resettlement program itself. So thank you very much for coming and for supporting us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Co-Chair. So maybe if there is any, the National Steering Committee has the members around 70 plus. So these are the permanent members. The chair is Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning. The co-chair is Ministry of Triple, that's the Borno Level Operational Committee chair. Then the national coordinator, Federal Ministry of Water Resource. I already read the members. So these are the members of the committee. So the meeting will be once in a year. That is what we are proposing in the TOR. We will have a meeting once in a year. And if we need additional membership, ad hoc membership, so the committee can discuss and can invite others to be National Steering Committee, depending on the importance and the strategic relevance of. So in case, as I said before, so we can take experience from government or experience from other similar steering committee. And so today we are expecting to discuss and endorse this TOR. So this is, so then after our discussion, if it's okay, we'll circulate the TOR, not now, or maybe we'll send it by email. Then you can see and comment. Then after the chair, that means the chair, the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, Borno State Ministry of Reconstruction and Resettlement, then Action Against Hunger Country Director, and the RESILAC national coordinator will endorse the TOR. Then after that, it will be our governing document for the coming 4 years. So this is a TOR brief, Mr. Chair. Okay, thank you. Back to the chair.
Thank you. We're going to, is it item 3 now?
Now we will discuss on this one. If there is any comment, any question on the TOR, we'll have a discussion. Then we'll go to the next item. End discussion.
Presentation of RESILAC.
Yep. So we need to endorse the governance structure as presented. Okay. If we agree with the governance structure, and then the inputs on the allowances and can be made.
Actually, members of this committee that will come, I wanted to say that the presentation he just made in terms of the structure is very, very good. Good in the term, in the sense that all relevant stakeholders that are concerned with the implementation of the project, I can see all of them, you know, on the list. I see Ministry of Agriculture, they are here. I see Livestock Ministry, they are here. Ministry of Water Resources, Women Affairs. The only thing I didn't see here, like Ministry of Youths, though Women Affairs can, but youths, because the pictures you showed us during the presentation of RESILAC-1, I saw a lot of youths playing soccer. I saw young ladies. So youths are very important in the listing, because they are really the people who we wanted to target and rehabilitate. Women, youth, but I didn't see Ministry of Youths and Sport here. I think that's what we should look at and think about, because if you do a stakeholder mapping, you need to truly be representative in terms of those that matters to be there. Leaving the youth, you know, who is going to mobilize the youth if you remove youth ministry? You know, so how do we include them in as beneficiary of this project is something that I could not see here. So it is left for this committee to now respond to my observation and see whether we can represent them as a key stakeholder. Thank you. That point is the frequency of meetings. I heard him say once a year, but I think that one meeting in 1 year is not enough. So I also want us to tinker around twice a year so that we can follow, you know, what is happening on the field. We can, you know, and what is the vogue now is that when you look at result chain of project implementation, outcome and impact is very important. Yes, the number of input meetings we have, how many money is going in, how many euro is going in, is also important. But what is more important is the outcome and impact. It is not a tracking. It is not important for us to spend all of this money, have cathedral of where many Nigerians are around this table implementing this very critical project. At the end of the day, we have little to say about it. We have little to say, oh, this is the tangible, the result that we are getting. The result matters to us Nigerians more than any other thing. So we need to focus on result, especially for developing countries. We don't care whether you speak all the grammar. That's not important for us. What we get at the end of the day for our people is far more important for us. So we have to look at those things, and I want to see comments from around the table. We don't have time. We have to be quick. Thank you.
So, on the issue of impact, I believe we need to put in place a sort of mechanism to actually track what is happening on the field. Let me share my experience in a Sugar Road Implementation Committee tracking the backward integration scheme. You know, we in the committee, we have a sort of arrangement that, you know, maybe batch by batch, we follow some of the sugar industry then to their site, you know, see the backstopping, you know, of what they are doing, even the importation of raw brown sugar, all those things we track. At the end of the day, we were able to advise the public about the actual picture. So I need maybe such a thing, such a mechanism to be put in place. So one way or the other, it will involve all the committee members, you know, most especially around all these places, these project sites that we are talking about. Thank you, sir.
My name is Ibrahim Natani Muhammad from Humanitarian Department, the Ministry. And my little observation is on the issue of persons with disabilities, and, which are a core department in our place. And they are not captured. I have not heard anything about the persons with disabilities. They are having PWDs, please, sorry. So whatever we are doing here, we need to also see how we can come in with something that can support them and let them be part of the beneficiaries of this activity. Let me be brief, please.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Alike Peter, Federal Ministry of Livestock Development. I'm a director. Actually, about the frequency of the meeting, I think once in a year is a bit scanty, if you don't mind, maybe twice. And the timing too should be strategic, because I want to believe that the idea of having some of these ministries on board are people whose activity impacts directly on what you're doing over there. And if we know exactly some of the structures, just like the director spoke about, you know, the need for beginning to factor in your sustainability strategy. Your sustainability strategy is not going to be too far from what the ministries do. And if we begin to synergize on some of the things we do, like when you had flood in Maiduguri the last time, I was privileged to be on the presidential committee that went there to assess the livestock, the destruction to livestock and all that. We met with the governor, Shehu of Oborona and all the rest and all that. And as we speak, I think there is something in the offing in terms of intervention, and it's huge. Let's not forget that Borno was producing the highest number of livestock in this country. And if they are not doing well, the country is not doing well. That's the direct implication. So we particularly, we are very passionate about, you know, their recovery in that place. So I want to believe that your success is our success, but we will not be able to probably synergize if we don't know what you're doing there. Thank you. Twice a year.
Thank you, sir. Also on the issue of involvement of youth ministry, also to capture the youth. I think it's very important, because looking at the population of youth to our national population, they form the larger part of the population, and they are more energetic, and they are able to drive the process much longer. And if the youth are put aside, you are not planning for sustainability of that of any intervention you are doing. To me, it is very important, because even from our own sector, water resources and sanitation sector, looking at open defecation, we have been doing it, and we have the challenges. We have to involve youth. Now we have what we call youth wash, that they are now a vanguard of the open defecation free campaign. So I think it's very important to involve youth. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I want to add to the issue regarding frequency of meeting, but I think with a recommendation that probably we include a clause that says an ad hoc meeting as the need for it arises without necessarily limiting or restricting it to either 1, 2, or 3. We agree that there will be need for more than one meeting, so probably we just put it as having the right to call for ad hoc meeting as the need for it arises. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for your brief presentations. 3 items I have, but 2 of them have been already addressed. On the TORO of governance structure, there is a need to include humanitarian in the TORO and youth development before it will be signed. For my suggestion, humanitarian affair is very key as far as this project is concerned, as well as youth development. Then, on the meeting times, from the first project, we meet, is always 2 times in a year. We meet at June and we meet at December each year. Then they give us update of what happens in the field and what is going on. So if it is a logistic concern, if we can adopt one to be virtual by June, you should give us what happens, or if we cannot meet physically, but at least twice in a year. Then the last option is that every year there will be need for the steering committee to carry out the monitoring of the activities and see what actually they are doing in the field. The steering committee should come up with 2 or 3 or nominate few persons to visit the site at these 3 LGA and see the impact of the project. At least I know monitoring is once in a year, and this project is for 5 years, and a year has already gone. It begins 2024, and this is 2025. And we are looking at the closeout at 2028. So I suggest the committee should look into yearly monitoring the impact at the field. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Just in addition, I think what I have has mostly been captured. In addition to the monitoring, we can explore the option of during probably monitoring visit by either the donor agencies, so that we will have part of the committee being part of the monitoring team to see during donor visit, it will actually speak well. Okay, I represent the national organization that will be supporting in the implementation, Novel Alliance for Development 8, NADA. Yes, sir. I'm Joshua Jato by name, sir. Okay, it's just in addition to what he just mentioned in terms of monitoring. If we can have during monitoring visit, joint monitoring visit by the either the donors, then if we can have a representative by the steering committee to be part of that monitoring visit instead of organizing a separate monitoring visit, it will go a long way in addressing some logistical issues.
Yes, I always keep on harping on sustainability because so many interventions and projects have been undertaken. And after the donors have rounded up the project or closed out, you will discover that within a few years, everything will come to a standstill. So I think, just like we always say that the people should take ownership of what belongs to them. If you go to one part of a state, or even my state, you will see that people are taking ownership of their boreholes, of other installations. People that are maybe domiciled in urban areas will come to their villages and make sure they rehabilitate one borehole or the other, or maybe a primary health care center, contribute little monies here and there, and maybe buy some drugs to help their people in the locality. So I think we should encourage the people within those areas of intervention, pay advocacy to the people that are maybe representatives of those people, or some of them are even locals of that place. But by the time they stay in the urban area, they will abandon everything about their people and will not even look back. But I think sometimes we can help them by reminding them, this is your constituency, these are your people, these are things we have done, we want to make it sustainable. So that when they are not there, in short, if you go to southern Borno now, they will tell you, like in my area, that they have mastered how to repair hand pumps and other things. They don't need to call anybody to come and do it for them. So these are the things we should encourage to make sure these things are sustainable. Government will not be able to do everything. I am the permanent secretary of budget and planning, and I always tell people that government cannot do everything. The impression everybody has is that government can do everything. Government has enough money. But just as it is said in economics that resources are scarce, so is it, and the government cannot do everything. So the people have to rise up and help themselves. Thank you very much.
Okay, you want to make comment? Please keep it short. Keep it short.
Any ad hoc ones as per the need. On the list of members, as much as EU, as the same as AFD is an observer, I would like to also add the option to have any additional persons or entity would be eventually invited on an ad hoc basis so that at least they can provide any support or additional elements through the implementation of the project. I will really join one of our members' comment on the joint monitoring visit. Let's be efficient and let's eventually bring ideas, observation, and eventually recommendation together. Thank you.
Were already raised. The first, there were a lot of comments on, tracking, that is monitoring. Tracking progress, that's monitoring. I thought maybe what we have done in the first RESILAC, they have already done monitoring. Maybe lessons learned, although they did not show us in the presentation, that would have been one of the things we should learn to bring forward to this second point of implementation. Though the impact do not really show almost immediately, but you can feel it almost immediately. You can begin to feel it right from the time when you are monitoring and when you are, tracking progress of implementation. So having said that, I think it is something we must not put aside. It's part and parcel of this program. So the country director and the Honorable Commissioner, so you are aware that monitoring and evaluation is going to be a key component of this project. And you cannot define any project without M&E. And good enough, when you were a director, before you became a commissioner in the Budget and Economic Planning Ministry, you were part of the M&E team. So I'm happy that you it sounds very well to you that that is going to be. So part of our endorsement today is not just endorsing this second phase, but endorsing M&E as part of this project so that we can do better things. So that is one. The second point is about the point that you raised about people with disability. So let's do what is called inclusive implementation. We must not leave anybody behind. So it's very, very important. So this committee, we need to consider what he said and for us to look at this as a component of our endorsement today. So that's the second endorsement. The other point is about frequency of meeting. And a lot of people have spoken around the table. I see a kind of, general endorsement that one meeting a year is not enough. So that we should have at least two. And I also suggest that those two meetings, one should be in Abuja, one should be in Borno State, so that we can, keep on track what is happening. If there's any other meeting by emergency, as she suggested, EU, she just mentioned, if there's any other meeting we can include the third one. But let's settle with two meetings a year, one in Abuja, one in many of us like the virtual meeting, but it's less expensive, but it does not always give you result as you want. When we look at each other, talking to one another, it's different from when you are on virtual, and most cases. So we've discussed that more, but we have accepted that we should have two meetings a year. And if there's any other, depending on the intervening variables, if there's need to have third meeting, we can, but we'll settle with two meetings. One in Abuja, one in Borno State. Then the sustainability issue. I was giving my remark there when I said that the issue of sustainability is very, very important. It can't be fed forever. You must stand up. So the Honorable Commissioner, the structure for sustainability, we have to start putting it in place to give power to recipients to do. Resilience is not about part of resilience is taking the power, of the project to go on. So that's really part of it. Otherwise, there's no reason to use the word resilient at all. So resilience means that you now have the power, you now have the authority, you now have the environment to do whatever you want to do to keep afloat. It's very, very important for us to do that. So you are very familiar with planning experience. For many years, you were in Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning. Privately, some of us can sit down with you and, develop a sustainability structure before we can share with members of the committee, if need be. I think that is also an endorsement we have accepted here today. Some people were just thinking maybe endorsement of this thing is just for me to pronounce that this project is hereby endorsed. It's not. It's what you tease out. All of this, all the components that will make the project work. That's the real endorsement that we are doing here today. So having said that, I think we're done. If there are no other comments, I want to, on behalf of the Honorable Minister, Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, endorse and approve the implementation of this project, as well as, approve this committee to be the Project Steering Committee of RESILAC-2. Thank you very much. The second point that I wanted to make, having said that, is we spoke of the youth ministry. Honorable Commissioner, please include the youth ministry as one of the stakeholders here, including that's a humanitarian affair, right? Yeah, good. I think the opinion of everybody who spoke is being represented. I think so. Somebody also spoke about, yes, I think it's part of the explanation that Borno State used to be key reservoir for the production of livestock in the country. You know, I think we need to go back to that, you know, especially now that we're talking about, you know, to get everybody involved, food security, to have everybody to do what we are supposed to do. Not just also producing, but adding value to production and the direction we go. You know, having said that, I also want to quickly say that at the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, we have what is called EU desk. You know, EU is supporting this project for them to, you know, work with the relevant department and work with everybody here in the coordination. We don't implement. Our role is to coordinate and call everybody that matters for this purpose. Bring everybody that is relevant to make their point, to exercise action for result. So that's our point. So we'll be working with relevant desk officers as European Union desk of the ministry. The Action Against Hunger is an INGO, international non-governmental organization, also registered with the ministry. So our own is to coordinate them. We don't implement anything when it comes to the feed. Is to also, for example, tomorrow, maybe the media will show what happened here. Another INGO just come, Dr. Bimaro, please, we are interested in doing something like agriculture and food security. I said, okay, fine, go and look for Action Aid. I pair them with Action Against Hunger. Go and work with them. Put your money in one basket and know how to spend the money. So that's the way we work. That's coordination. We bring all other donors to work with you, those who are interested in doing the same thing that you are doing, and not just a duplication of, you know, activities and all of that, because we are very interested in results. We are a large country, Nigeria, and it's a complex country to achieve results. So if you don't put your eyes on the ball, you can't get anything. So you need to work very well. You need to work, you know, focusing on result at all times. So unless you do that, you may not be able to, because everything you do, in every country, there are spoilers. So they just don't want you to get to where you want to get to. So it's very important. So having said that, I think the secretary will create a platform, WhatsApp platform, where everybody seated around this desk will be talking, you know. So after this meeting, the Honorable Minister will reach out to everybody and be able to say, working with our co-chair, to say what is the next, you know, step, and also working with the implementing partner Action Against Hunger. So I want to hear final comments from my co-chair.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor. I wanted to say that I'm in agreement with the suggestion for 2 meetings per year, but possibly 3 in the event of some developments. We can make the meetings maybe up to 3 times, but the 2 is a standing agreement that we'll have the meeting at least twice in a year. Again, I don't know whether all of us around the table will be doing the tracking, or we are going to select some members of the committee to track the progress and to be communicating progress. Yeah. I want to suggest that in addition to maybe we, the steering committee here, my ministry will also maybe nominate some few officers who will also be writing a routine progress report on the implementation, because we are the ones on ground there, and so we need some people who will be monitoring the implementation on very on routine basis, maybe monthly or 3 months or something, so that we are kept in picture of the progress that what has been set forth for the implementation of this RESILAC-2 is actually achieving the target. The structure for sustainability, the idea of the Ministry of Youth to be part of it. We have Ministry of Youth at the federal level. We also have Federal Ministry of Youth at our state level. So maybe in our subcommittee there, this monitoring subcommittee will involve our Ministry of Youth as part of our monitoring committee of the progress of work that the RESILAC-2 is targeting, so that at the end of the day, we'll be communicating not just here, but we have the Ministry of Youth at the federal level, and the Ministry of Youth at the state level will also co-opt some in our own organization there, and then be monitoring it and be writing report to the main steering committee for purpose of making progress. So in any case, it's a welcome development that this RESILAC-2 is actually now taking shape. It started with the initial launch that we did in Maiduguri, and now it's coming out to a real it's giving the desired result now, because everybody has shown interest. We are all committed to the implementation. So I think I'm happy with the progress so far made. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Commissioner. Our friend from, I don't know if you want to make some comment, but because we are moving towards the close of the meeting, I don't know whether you have some comments. Sally, I don't know if you have any comments to make.
Thank you so much, Mr. The Director from the Ministry of Budget, and I would like to excuse for being late. I know that the committee started earlier than usual, so I missed the beginning. But I'm in fully support to this committee, and we want to work like we support working on the state level. We know in Nigeria it's very important to have a very local approach, especially for a program like RESILAC, which is very working on very deep issues within the AGAs that are targeted with the program. But at the same time, we want to make sure that there is also good ownership and follow-up from the federal level, because it's on this side we also need to coordinate and harmonize the policies on different levels. So this is a small statement that I would like to say, and thank you once again, and I'm looking forward to see the project starting in Nigeria, in Borno State. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for Sally for those beautiful comments. my co-chair, you raised the issue of chairing, tracking, and of course we cannot do tracking without you. You are in the center stage. You are the one in Borno where other committee members are always going there to meet with you, as if you are the host. Actually, you are the host.
You are the host.
Yes. So there's no way we will not include your members as people who are tracking and writing report. That is fully endorsed because it's your project, and we want to use that as, long-standing experience. We do not pray to have any problem in Nigeria as we move ahead, but long-standing experience and as a model, is very, very important for us. Someone was just reminding me about allowances and all of that, and I thought it's important, but I don't think we should discuss that today because already they have a structure. They know what they were paying, and I think just make recommendations to the chairman, the co-2 chair. The other chair he has information, which he just told me. If there's anything to be added, we will let us know. In our next meeting, we'll look at it even before that meeting and throw it open. I don't think it should be a debate. We are not interested on how much we are going to be paid. Yes, we need to, if you travel, you need to eat food, you need to sleep in a hotel. But don't let that be the thing that is uppermost in our mind. Of course, you'll be given money. So let's face the problem of our country. Let's be committed to it. And, let's know that, look, nobody will fix your country. You know what is happening at the global stage now. There's no morality in economics. There's trade war everywhere. Countries are struggling. If you read today's paper, you hear trade wars and other things that are going on. US is ready to do it. This one is small countries like Singapore, Thailand, they are ready to do it. So you have to stand up. Some of us were almost died last night in a plane crash. But this morning we are here. Nobody has paid us money, but here today we are also discussing about Nigeria. I want to make sure that things are working well for our country. I lost my mother very late last year. She didn't go to school very well. She managed to finish primary school. One day we were discussing, she was not ill that time. She just told me, if you people who went to school cannot fix Nigeria, it's really a shame. That night I couldn't sleep. He said, me, I didn't go to school. I can't read and write. I don't know what is happening. You people who went to university, you went everywhere. We toiled in the farm to fix you people. Yet, problem is increasing in Nigeria. I'm ashamed. So I didn't know the meaning until I slept in the night. So you are looking for people who will fix your problem for you. Me that didn't go to school, you want me to come and fix it. So these are some of, truly, if we who went to school can't fix our country, is it our mother who didn't go to school? Go back, let's go and think about it. Who will fix your country? International economics is like a big road junction. No traffic light, no traffic warning. You have to find your way because international rules does not work so well as national rules. So you need to stand up. Let us fix our countries. These development partners are helping us. USAID just woke up one day. They say, we are no longer tired of you people. You can go your way. Anybody can also stand up tomorrow and say, you go to hell. Yes. You can go your way. So the issue of what we will receive, we will talk about that one. If you travel, it's need to give you DTA. It's by rule. And let us not just be like put that in the center table and be discussing that for now. So we will look at that and of course, if people have been paid before, why won't they pay you in the future? So we'll do that and look at whether there's an increment or we'll leave it where it has been. Thank you very much. Any further comment? I guess there's no further comment. I guess there's no further comment. Co-chair.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think I'm in agreement with you that really nobody will come and fix your country for you. The development partners are just supporting us, but the essential thing is those of us who are Nigerians should be doing the fixing, and then if there's support, like what we are getting through RESILAC and other supporting partners, good. But even if it's not like that, if they pull away from us, like you said has done, and most likely other organizations may do so, because they had their reason for pulling out. And so we should prepare ourselves to stand on our own and address our problems by ourselves, not necessarily relying on support. So what I'm saying is that there has to be, in addition to the foreign content of the support that we are getting through like RESILAC-2, we need to also put in our local content, our local support from our own people, from our own governments. And he has said it all. Nobody will come and fix our country for us. So that's that. Thank you.
Thank you, Co-Chair. I'm going to leave the meeting for you to finish with the remaining agenda. We have a bilateral agreement on project to sign with JICA by 3 o'clock. So I need to quickly rush back to the ministry and join the Honorable Minister for the signing ceremony. The project is on about startups in Nigeria, SMEs. So the JICA people are helping to see how they can bring youths together, and they're looking at how their own economy grew to become a giant, whether they could replicate such thing in Nigeria. So we sign off with them, so they go to various ministries just like you and go and work. So our own is just to sign off on behalf of our government, and for them to go to Ministry of Agric, Smidan, Head, and all of that to go and continue with their work. So with your permission, we have already endorsed the committee, and my co-chair will give a full vote of thanks on behalf of us. Thank you very much.
So I think we have one more. You see, one.
Don't worry, please continue with the meeting.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we still have one more item on our agenda for discussion before we may conclude for the day.
Okay.
So, Mr. Gardi, can you?
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. So the next agenda item is to present the project activity plan for 2025, then comment and endorse that plan. So we will have one presentation. So I will quickly again take you to the presentation. So this part we have already done, and I will not go through again. So this one, again, we know the objective, we know the components. We have 3 components. So my presentation will focus mainly the activity plan under each component. So the first component, which is the first expected result, vulnerable population have improved access to basic service that meets their need. So under this component, we do have activities related to water and sanitation and hygiene. So we are expected to benefit more than maybe 6,000 people will get potable water access. And to ensure this potable water access, we are going to construct and rehabilitate water points in the intervention sites. And also we will support the NIHSA, that means the National Information, to map water pointers and establish information management. And we will also have water vendor training awareness. And we will have also workshops related to groundwater surveillance and information about the area. The second main activity, access to water and hygiene, that's related to hygiene and sanitation. So under this main activity, we are going to benefit 7,500 beneficiaries. So we do have a lot of activities, hygiene promotion. So by implementing that activity, we are going to benefit 7,500 beneficiaries. The third activity under the first expected result, promoting access to health centers. We will strengthen the capacity, that is specifically on primary health care. So these are also part of the first expected result. So we have trainings and provision of equipment and materials. So these are also part of our plan. So I'm not going in detail because we have the numbers. I will also share this presentation and the detailed roadmap. The other one, promoting access to education. Then the project will also support school returnees. That means there are scholarship for 200 girls. And we have also support stakeholder advocacy for improved access to basic service. Again, we will have advocacy workshop and trainings for the relevant stakeholders. So we have social safety net component. Then under this, we will have communal asset building activities. That means the identified beneficiary will work in communal asset rehabilitation. Then by this one, we are planning to benefit 700 householders. We do have a related activity to this. We will have also cash for work payment. That means they will work for their communal asset, and the project will also give a payment. That's the cash work. We do have also conditional cash assistance component. Then by this one, we are planning to benefit 700 individuals. We have also unconditional seasonal assistance. In case if there is any shock, the project will also support those who are in need of. The third expected result under the first component is psychosocial support, that mental and psychosocial support related activity. So here again, we do have a lot of activities, trainings, capacity building, and we will use lay counselors, we'll give the training, and we'll support this activity, and those victim by GBV or by any other, they will be also prioritized. Now I'm in the second component. So the second component is on capacity building. So under this component, we will have 3 expected results. Then I'm going to present the activity under each expected result. So the first one is carrying out updating territorial diagnostics. I think this one I presented in the morning, so I'll not go in detail. That means to go to the community, to identify the challenge, and to prepare LJ development plan. The expected outcome from the territorial diagnosis is to have LJ development plan. That means that LJ development plan will be in line with the government plan, in line with other actors in the area. So this is the key activity of the project. So we already conduct this one. Now we are preparing the development plan. The other activity, promoting of an inclusive and concerned governance of territory. And again, here we have a list of activities quantified for the year and for the project period. So we have DRR-related activity. Actually, it will be a community-based disaster risk management, disaster risk reduction activity. So we'll have community committees who will work for the DRR component. The other expected result is territorial management through inclusive stakeholder governance. Again, to improve the stakeholder governance, as we already mentioned in the morning, we are here to facilitate, The ownership is the local government, and the community is the owner of the project. So we'll have a capacity building related to the natural resource management, and we have also support to development and implementation of DRR, disaster risk management. So we have a list of activities, training, and some provisions here. The third expected result under the second component is related to civil society. That means to capacitate local CSOs and NGOs. Here we have 3 local CSOs. We'll also build their capacity, and there are CBOs in the area. So we'll also fill the gaps. That means the identified gaps and capacitate. That means the whole idea is without the project, the LEJ should continue developing. That means to favor development, we are using the existing community-based organization in the CSOs, that is building their capacity. So now we are in the third component. So the third component is related to foster economic recovery and promote cross-trade. Here again, we do have 3 expected results. So now I'm going to present the activity under each expected result. The first, support for coordination of effort at political level. That means we do have activity related to this, CBOs, CSOs, trainings, and we will also organize cross-border related activities. And we have sustainable job and source of income created. That means we do have a list of activity. Like currently, we are in process to conduct labor market survey. Then this labor market survey will also inform our planning, and we will have vocational trainings. We will have IGA, income generating activities, in the targeted LEJ. The other sustainable job and source of income related, we have promotional and facilitation of access to microcredit, and also we will have village saving loan association. We are planning to organize 240. So we have activity related to village saving and a loan. That means by giving a kind of seed money or seed thought, that means to capacitate the existing available capacity in the community. So we do have also activity related to market system, just to strengthen the existing market system, agricultural innovative platforms. We have also facilitated development of social enterprise models to diversify means of livelihood. So yeah, we have the planned number. Again, I will not go depth. The other activities, farmers organizing farmers. That means we will reinforce and farming, livestock, and fishing system. To have a diversified means of livelihood, and also to have adopted to the climate change. Again, here, as we see, we will support rain-fed agriculture production. The beneficiaries are 1,500 households. We have activity related to this diversification. We have also activity related to the livestock. Fishing, that means livestock farming, provision of livestock farming kits, livestock market stakeholder training. Again, this is also within the project plan. So we have also a plan to strengthen local animal health system, that is rehabilitation and construction. This is again part of the third component of the project. So we have detail of activities associated to this. And the project is also going to support production and marketing of fish and the promotion of sustainable fishing practice. The whole idea is, with a small amount of resource to build the existing capacity. We are not here to give capacity. There's existing capacity that is identified. So we will strengthen and help the community to have a better income. So we have also activity again here under agriculture, scale, and livestock. So we have awareness raising and stakeholder engagement related, reactivation and the reorganization of community market system. So we have the detail of it, the activities here. The other most important, gender as a cross-cutting. Gender, RESILAC is gender reactive and transformative. That means more than half of the project beneficiaries are expected to be females. So for this one, we have a gender-specific activities, and in every activity of the project, we are considering to make sure the most vulnerable, that means people living with disability, it's already mentioned in the first agenda, we'll also consider them, the females, and those who are in need of the assistance will be prioritized. So for the gender, we have already conducted gender analysis. We are on the process to finalize the report. So the gender analysis will inform our targeting and activity and implementation. So we will also share that study to the steering committee. So we have also, gender advocacy. We do believe we are not the only one to give remedies, but we have to work with others. We have to advocate for the gaps. That's what I have on the activities. So we will share this one. Maybe if there's any comment, we can accept. Nagode.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gaddi. Thank you. And over to the chair, co-chair, before the last presentation. The last one is not a presentation, but a vote of thanks. But now over to the co-chair for his comments, for opening of comments.
Okay, thank you very much. He has made a lengthy presentation, and I don't know whether, you can make comments on his presentation. There are some observations he has presented. He has said a lot of things, including attending to issue of gender, issue of people with living with disabilities, and so on. So if there are certain areas that he did not capture that we need to include in the implementation of our RESILAC, there are any additional information or observations? Is there any? Yes, please.
Yes, sir. I looked at let me thank him for the beautiful presentation, and which is very interesting. I looked at the how will I put it, component in the presentation. When you train somebody and that person didn't have what to work on, what we usually do in Ministry of Agric is that we always give starters pack, like maybe input, seed, agrochemical in a small quantity, maybe just the one that will cover half an hectare, something like that. I believe that if such a thing can be included, it will be nice, so that by the time you train anybody on anything, you can get something to go back home and start practicing. And from there, you can even turn to maybe a sort of micro-level enterprise or to support his or her family. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for giving me the audience. Looking at wash area, I think they have a good plans for increasing access to wash services. And as a steering committee, we have talked about monitoring and evaluation of these things. For us, I think my comment now is this, that these activities they have outlined is better, like this presentation, if we have shared with us so that we go back and study it, and when time reach for us to monitor, we should know what we are going to track. Thank you very much.
Okay, I think I'll beg Mr. Gaddi to share the presentation, soft copy, to be sent to our, maybe we said we are going to have a platform. So if you just send it to that platform, everybody will just get it. You don't have to send it individually. And that would be very good because we'll all see it and then make our additional observations or comments and then improve on it. Thank you. Any other comment? Yes, sir.
When we get the details of what they are doing as individual ministries, we just might, as a way of encouraging local content to what they are doing, because one of the things I observe is that you see people duplicating the same thing, and it's not helpful. But if we know, maybe within these 3 local governments, for instance, if we want to make we already know that it's useful, and they probably have not given them the necessary starter pack, and we have that kind of arrangement. If we have the information, who knows? It just might come in there, maybe not as their project, but at least for the good of the people, so that this starter pack now goes to the people who have been capacitated in that regard to use it, very well. So these are the kind of information, if availed the ministries, it just might help in the building of this resilience and the sustainability we're talking about. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
most quickly, sorry for,
yes,
I just want to add to the little observation he made. You look at our ministry, humanitarian, we have poverty alleviation, poverty reduction, we have a nutrition department, we have humanitarian service, all their departments. And his presentation has to do with a lot of things that have to do with the activities he mentioned. So I suggest, yes, actually, if we get to know the exact activity so that we can, within the department, know how to put it under the mandate of the ministry. That is just what I'm trying to just add to. Because we have a lot of departments that are saddled with these mandates, and I think they can support the activity.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, Yes, please.
Thank you so much for your comment. I think just to reflect before Garde maybe respond to some of the question and comment, both of the point that is raised is really valid. There is
sorry.
It's extremely important that we all are on the same page. When I say we, all the concerned ministries, who is taking part in the implementation of this project and in providing close support. I think the first thing that we need to do from SF side, we will share with you the presentation, not only this presentation, but I believe it would be also interesting to share those presentations that we shared during the morning session, so that you have the full picture of all the detailed activities. And I believe it should not be also one way or information shared from SF or from CARE to the concerned line ministries, but it would be also very interesting for us to get information from each concerned line ministry so that we tailored our activities. The activities indicated here are not, there is some sort of flexibility. For instance, if the Ministry of Agriculture is doing or implementing certain activities, then it doesn't necessarily mean that we can go ahead and implement the activities. Rather, we can reflect and modify our approach. So, yes, I suggest Garde share both this presentation and also the presentations that we made earlier so that you have the whole picture and we all are on the same page. But we also appreciate that we maintain open communication so that we also receive information so that we better tailor activities to meet our objectives. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes. Yes, madam.
Thank you so much for the presentations. It's really interesting to see the activities that were planned with the government of Borno State for the program. I just have a couple of questions, mainly not comments, and My first question is related to the revolving fund. I think it's a very interesting idea to have access to water services with a revolving fund that could guarantee the sustainability of the activities. So I'm just interested to know more how the revolving fund is managed locally. If it's local, there is a local governance structure around the water bowls. How it's working, and how to make sure that we can contribute as much as possible to the sustainability of this revolving fund. And my second question is related to the social protection activities. I just want to. There was 2 activities where the cash transfers were conditional. And I would like to know if they are conditioned for what. It was not maybe clear for me. What are the leverage that we want to have to be able to contribute to this mechanism to understand how it works. And then I saw that there was also unconditional for vulnerable groups, and I'm just interested to know how the targeting of those groups are done. I know that there is a social registry that exists in Nigeria, and there is a list of households that are, or population, a list of names that are done, but the choice how it's done, and if you support also the integration, especially when we talk about IDBs or others, their integration on the social registry in a way that we make sure that the mechanism, their support is not just once or during the project implementation, that they are kind of covered for the long run by the social protection mechanism that the government is putting in place. So it's just more of questions for me to understand. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir.
With the permission of the chair, I think I can take her second question.
Yeah,
on the social protection in Borno State, what the Borno State government is doing so far. Or you want to?
No, I have just a point.
Okay, go ahead.
To mention.
Go ahead.
Is about the monitoring and evaluation visit. I just mentioned that you need to coordinate with the operational steering committee, because the operational steering committee have the mandatory to do the monitoring visit. And if the national steering committee need to have the monitoring visit on site, need to coordinate with the operational steering committee to avoid to have duplication of visit of action, and that we need to coordinate. In the frequency of the steering meeting, I know that the operational meeting, steering meeting will have 2 meetings by year. Now, if the national steering committee need also to have 2 meetings, we need to coordinate, because the operational steering meeting must share the reports of progressing of the activity with the national steering meeting. It's what we plan to have: 1 national steering meeting and 2 operational steering meeting, because the operational steering meeting closely with implementing team. Now, if you want to have 2 steering committee meeting in national level, we need to coordinate and to avoid the duplication of role and action. Thank you.
Okay, can you respond to some of the questions? I think everybody has asked.
I think the second question is for us, sir, on social protection. That's why I want to, with your permission.
Yeah, do please.
Yes, on the social protection, we have a policy that has been signed, even though it's not a law, by the Borno State government. And currently, we have a legislative retreat with a view to signing the law instead of the policy, signed by the deputy governor, not the governor. Now plans are in progress to see that the social protection law is signed by the Borno State government. And again, we have the social register in Borno State, which contains about 650 households that has been approved by the World Bank, sanctioned by the World Bank. Again, this is a far cry from the expectation from Borno State, considering the magnitude of the insurgency and the number of vulnerable populations involved. So we are currently also working with GIZ with a view to expanding the social register to make it, in fact, the plan is to increase it to about 2.5 million households, hopefully, before the end of the year. That plan has already been also put in place. Thank you, and I hope that answers your question on social protection. If not, then we can talk bilaterally.
Okay. Okay, we proceed? Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. So maybe let me start from the Sally's question, maybe social protection, I think it's already addressed. For the unconditional cash assistance, so we are going to organize a targeting committee at community level. We have 15 communities, we will have 15 targeting committee. So the community targeting committee, we already drafted a criteria. Then based on that criteria, it is a committee who is going to identify those who are in need of, not only for the unconditional, for all activities, it is the community targeting committee who is going to identify the people who are in need of the assistance or the project support. So we'll use that committee to identify the beneficiary and to target. So now currently we already organize the committees. We prepared the targeting criteria. Then we'll give training for the committee and we'll do the necessary targeting. The other one for the revolving fund, maybe Andu can add on that part also on the WASH. But the whole idea is, we have a budget to maintain maybe 4 or 5 or 6 water pointers. But that may not be enough, but the need is huge. Instead of maintaining 4, the idea of revolving fund is to put that money in the basket. Then when there is a need to rehabilitate, the community, at community level, there will be a kind of committee. Then they will request a loan. They can take, rehabilitate, and they again return the loan to the basket. That means we are targeting not only the project beneficiaries, but other community in that LGA that can benefit from the basket. So, I think we were Action Against Hunger. There's a good experience in Yobe. So now we want to take that lesson and bring it to Borno in RESILAC. So again, it is a community-driven kind of activity which can sustain whether RESILAC is there or not, because RESILAC and other similar projects, they will also put the money in the same basket. Then that money is for the whole community, not only for RESILAC intervention areas. Then the community they request, they rehabilitate, they return the loan. Then the interest and others, there will be a bylaw. So I think there is a good experience in Yobe. Maybe Andu, if you want to, I don't know, with the permission of the commissioner.
Right. Actually, implementing revolving fund for WASH activity, it's a very recent experience for us. We've started implementing this activity a year and a half before. The approach is that we engage the local authorities at LGA level and at community level, and also the community. We also set up a WASH committee at each community level, and both ACF, the community, and also the local government contribute a certain amount of money for the purpose of maintaining the WASH facility. As I said, it was a pilot project, but we found the project really very successful. So based on the lesson learned that we have, we believe this is one of the approach that we can, so whether SF is there or not, the community will continue to maintain the functionality of the wash facilities. That is the experience that we had. Even in the we stop activities, the community continued to contribute, and whenever there is issues with the wash facilities, let's say the borehole, they pull the resources from that pot, quickly fix it, and continue to contribute a small amount of money. Over time, that that resources help to ensure the sustainability of those wash facilities. So that's the experience that we have in Yobe, and we are aiming to replicate this in Borno under RESILAC. I hope. I'm not sure if I get your question, if I address your question clearly, but further discuss. Thank you.
No, sir. I was waiting for your comment before we could go to the next item, sir. If there is any comment from your side.
Well,
Thank you.
Okay, a comment? Any additional comment or something? Is there no comment? You have comment? Okay,
yeah. Maybe for the other comments, which are well noted, for example, on the duplication of efforts, we have operational steering committee at Borno level. Then we'll see how to avoid unnecessary duplication in that area. And for agriculture, again, sharing the document, the project document. That means we'll share this activity and the presentations. We'll also further discuss, especially at Borno level. We have around 30 offices as member of operational steering committee. So we are closely working with them, and again with the federal ministries, that's member of the national steering committee. We will share, and also when there's a need, we will also approach through the operational steering committee. Thank you, Commissioner.
So I think so far so good. Mr. Bitrus, do you have anything to add?
No, sir. I wanted to go to the next item on the agenda, which happens to be the last for the day, except if the chair orders otherwise.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Let's go to the last.
So with the permission of the chair, I'd like to invite Jennifer Ogle, who is the interim country director of CARE International, for her vote of thanks. Then the co-chair will give his final words for the day. Jennifer, you have the microphone.
Thank you very much, Mr. MC and Mr. Chair. I want to take this opportunity to thank you all very much, for both you and your co-chair, for how you have steered this committee. I also want to appreciate our donors who have made all this possible, AFD and EU, and even the representation from the French embassy itself. We are very grateful for the support. I'm particularly grateful to the government representatives here, both at state and federal levels. The passion that everybody has demonstrated, the interest in the project, the partnership, and the willingness to see it grow. And I know that all the suggestions have come from a very good place, a very good heart, because everybody wants it to succeed. I know my colleague here had also mentioned that we need to make sure that we manage the expectations. We were working within a budget and all that. So I know that everyone here is experienced well enough to know what our limitations could be, and the fact that we will be doing joint monitoring if there are, and regular meetings. If there are any things, we are happy and thankful that you are availing yourselves and open for us to have discussions and for us to share what is working best and what we need support from. And we are grateful to the state government for opening up for us to work together. I think that we have a shared interest in ensuring that the livelihoods of the people we serve are improved. And so I want to thank you. I'd been looking around to see, where's the representation from the Ministry of Women Affairs? And I'm hoping that as we go forward, we'll see more women being represented.
You are expecting a woman, eh?
Yeah, so, I'm hoping that we'll see more women represented on the steering committee, and especially in the Ministry of Women's Affairs, because as we all know, no, we are not doing he for she here. Trump has said it very clearly. It's a new era. So I think that we all know that the expectations and needs of women are usually very different. So when you go to a community and you have two focus group discussions and you say, what are the most challenging things here? You'll be surprised that the information you come up with from the two sides, you think that you are in two different communities altogether. And so in thanking you all, I just also want to urge that more women are represented in the same. So, and I'm hoping that when we say that Ministry of Youth, we are going to see youth represented at the steering committee. And yeah, so on that note, I just want to say thank you. These are jokes, but I just want to say thank you very much. I'm very excited at how everybody has embraced the project and is willing to work hand in hand with the implementers to let it work. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. And on that note, we've come to the final lap of this meeting. It is therefore now my singular honor and privilege to invite the co-chair of the National Steering Committee of RESILAC-2 in person of Architect Isa Garba Halidu, who is also the Honorable Commissioner for Ministry of Reconstruction, Rehabilitation and Resettlement, Borno State, to give his closing remarks and to adjourn the meeting. Honorable Commissioner, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bitrus. My closing comments is just to thank each and every one of you for taking your time, showing passion for our humanity. We are the ones that are at the receiving end, but you are coming to us to give us a supporting hand. I want to thank each and every one of you and to wish that the friendly interactions we had today will continue as we have agreed. We'll be meeting twice in a year. We'll be seeing each other as regularly as possible. I want to wish each and every one of us safe journey back to our respective places. Some will be traveling, some are still within the town. And to wish each and every one of us success in our various assignments, especially this assignment of the RESILAC that we have put in front of us. Let's work towards its success. Success of the RESILAC-2 is actually a success of humanity. We are actually at the receiving end in our state. And this kind of support is just coming handy. The situation that we have in our state is not similar to the situations that you have in other states of the Federation. So with this kind of support, we are going to build the resilience that we expect for our people. I want to thank each of us and to wish us safe journey back to our various places. Thank you very much. So is this supposed to be a bag? Yeah, I'm supposed to put laptop. Okay. Okay. Laptop. Yeah. Okay, it's a laptop bag. Okay. Yes, it is. Then I want to put something inside. Which one? So the one I saw you was very beautiful. All these papers. That's this one. Yes. Sunday.
Please, everyone, can we come to the podium for the group photograph? Thank you. Let's come to the podium, please. Thank you.